If you love your life or you hate your life, the life that you have, the things you have, however it is, there's one thing that does not change whether you like it or you don't like it, love it or hate it. And that is that you are in a prison. That's what this whole place is. If you love this life and you just have everything you need, there's money in the bank, there's food on the table, you have lack of nothing, it's probably more obvious that you don't understand that that's what this place is. That you are actually a prisoner in a prison. And if you're in a prison, you got sent there for a reason. And to most, you probably have no idea what this even means. You have no idea that you have been sentenced to a prison for something that you did, because you have no idea that you even did it. You have no idea of these things, so you've never asked the questions. You've never wondered what was done, because it's never even popped up in your head to even wonder if any of these things have ever happened. That's what most people do in this life. They believe that this life is all that matters and all that consists. They believe that their job and all these things of this world are life, and they're not. Now, as for anybody getting out of this jail cell or this sentence, there's only one way to get out, and there's only one kind of person that's going to get out. When you look around in your world, you see people. They look just like everybody else. They do the same things everybody else is doing. There's no way to tell one from another other than the obvious things that you already probably know. Their color, their clothing, all these things that you've used to define differences between one another. Now, in all these people, in all these groups, all these countries, there's still only two different kinds of people. There's gods and there's animals. They look the same. They may speak the same languages. They may not speak the same languages. But we are all around you and you don't even know it. You may even be more smarter than us, but only according to your world standard that you believe in and accept. The things that we know, you'll never know. You'll never understand, because you are stuck in this world, this prison that you put yourself in. It's not the first time I've ever said this. Not in a video or anywhere else. I've said it many times, in videos many times. But when I say gods and that I am one of these, the fact that you probably just rolled your head and said how crazy this guy is just proves within yourself, I don't have to say anything, that you have no idea what I'm talking about and you don't understand. Not my fault. Sucks to be you. Because there's only one kind that gets out of this prison sentence, and that are gods. The odds are, if you follow a religion, this has been staring you in the face this whole time, but you're unable to accept it and believe it. That's just what this world does. Blinds you from what you really are, who you really are, blinds you from the truth. Religion cannot save you, but it doesn't mean it can't help you in a way. Doing the things of religion won't help you, but there are keys within it, if you can see them. Churches are filled with people that have no clue what's ahead. They have no clue what tomorrow holds. They have no direction as to what they're even doing there. They're just running a circle, because they don't understand these simple facts about their self. They don't understand that the goal is to understand who you really are. It's kind of like they understand a fairy tale and they follow that fairy tale. And the reason it's so fairy tale-ish is because they don't understand what's right in front of their face. They think things like, well, I'm going to die and then I'm going to get to be part of this magical thing. Wrong. If you wait till you're dead, you've never escaped your prison sentence. In this life are these things. In this life right now. Not, I'm going to wait to cash out when I die. If you're not part of it right now, in your apparent time that you have right now, nothing's going to change when you die. It happens right now in this life. I'm not trying to bash on the Christians. They read the same book I've read, but they don't say the same. They don't say the same things I say. They don't believe the same things I believe. Yet we have read the same ink and paper. They get a different result than I do because they are just reading ink and paper. I can read the same ink and paper, and I don't get the same things because I don't get it from the ink and paper. I get it from God. God to me happens in here. I've said that one too many times. A lot of people put a big hope in Jesus coming back. I'm not like that. I don't sit with the hope of, well, Jesus is going to come back and he's going to make everything better. I don't do that. Because if you don't understand the things that I'm saying, if you're hoping for Jesus to come back and you don't understand Christ coming back, then when Jesus comes back, all he's going to do is clean house and you're going to be in the dustpan. Some people like to say it like the second coming of Christ, and they get that confused with Jesus coming back. Now, what I'm looking for and hoping for is Christ to form in other people. I don't care who you are. But that is your escape. That is your parole. That's the only way you're ever going to get out of your sentence. And unless Christ is in you, unless you understand that, unless you understand what I'm saying when I say God's or not, you better hope Jesus don't come back. You better hope he don't come back until you understand that, because, like I said, if he comes back, Christ hasn't formed in you, you're just an animal, he's bringing a big dustpan. You may not believe in Jesus. You may not like Jesus. You may not like Christianity. I really don't like Christianity myself. But Jesus is the only man I know that laid out all the details of who and what we really are. As far as I know, I haven't read every book in the world. I don't really have a desire to read every book in the world, but as far as I know, he laid out all the basic details and detailed details of who and what we are. If nothing else, the information is real. However, I believe he was here, walked the earth, and said these things. There's no reason for me not to believe it. A book didn't have to convince me. God gave it to me. Now, as far as this being a prison, and you having been a criminal, convicted and sentenced, you're probably saying, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing wrong. Well, yeah, you're not going to remember what you can't remember that you did. That doesn't make any sense, but you're never going to remember unless you get shown these things. You just think that you randomly appeared here in this time for whatever reason and whatever purpose. Maybe you don't even believe that. You just think that you are here. Here you are. No, it's deliberate. And we sent ourselves here. Just like every criminal out there in the prison system doing hard time, nobody sent them there. They sent themselves there. They made a choice. They did an action. They got put in that spot for their own choice and their own action. It's the same way with us in this world. Prisons within prisons even. And it could very well be that the crime and the punishment was that we sent ourselves here. It could be that simple. Even Jesus said, I didn't send myself. God sent me. God wanted me to come here, so I did. Otherwise, he would have just stayed in heaven chilling. But he chose to join the rest of us so that we might actually have a chance to get out of here. Now, no, I'm not preaching no salvation message that's so popular. It's because, look, get that and go on. Get the basics and then go on forward. Otherwise, you're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again every Sunday and Wednesday or whatever day you go. Move forward. There's more to do than just be hung up on the salvation and forgiveness and all this. Good stuff, but go forward. You cannot go forward staying back there. Forget about the end of the world. Why are you even worried about that? You're carrying out a life sentence. How much time do you have left to even work that out? I'm not trying to tell you be good or bad. If you understood how God's fingerprints are on everything, your whole concept of good and bad would change. Not because I say so or I form it to go in this direction or that direction, but if you really understood the things going on in this world, who their maker is, who their designer is, it would change your whole life. Just like how I've probably talked crap about, say, Rome, for example. Believe it or not, God's fingerprints are on that system because that system works out the product He wants. That's just one example. Take your pick. All of it. There's nothing that God is not a part of doing. Whether you understand good or bad or how you understand it, doesn't matter. All that matters is that He gets His refined product. If that means He's got to blow up a country, then that's what He does. There is no power but of God. Even when I've said the mother and her whore daughters, the Protestant organizations, believe it or not, God's fingerprints are on that because that works the refined product that He wants. If they weren't the way they were, I would have never questioned the situation for God to be able to show me the purpose and His fingerprints on it that gets this product. Take your pick from all the above and all the things out there. There's nowhere where you're not going to find God's done been there, authorized, had His hands on it, done it. God rules in all heaven and earth. Whether you like it or not, whether you think it's God or not. It's just the way it is. Presidencies, organizations, nations. There is no absence of God in it. So if you want to get out of your prison sentence, you're going to have to see that it is. You're also going to have to see that God is. And you're going to have to realize who you are and what you are. Thanks for watching.